In between chapters, I take a quick detour to Invasion 1 where I focus on getting support ranks, and little else, because my units are too high level to gain any XP on this map. I then start chapter 12 of Conquest with 0 strength and magic, where we face a considerable challenge with a time-limited map where we have 16 turns to either escape or defeat Ryoma. Unfortunately, defeating Ryoma in a timely fashion is probably impossible for this challenge. Any chapter with a time limit is potentially lethal because even in the best of circumstances, my units will progress slowly compared to a normal playthrough because of the increased number of turns I need to take out enemies. Kaze joined at the end of chapter 11, and he has 0 strength. He's useful mainly for access to Poison Strike, which is one of several skills that does % HP damage at the end of combat, independent of your stats. And in this challenge, figuring out a way to stack % HP damage will be absolutely critical to the success of the run. For this map, we get Laszlo, who has 0 strength, and Perry, who has 0 strength. Laszlo has a useful personal skill that acts as a small strength and speed rally, while Perry has a clean criminal record because her stats indicate that it's exceedingly unlikely that she has or ever will kill anybody. In the battle preps, I class change Jacob into a Master of Arms to work towards life and death, and promote Arthur to get a larger pair of strength bonus. The typical method for clearing this map leads you through the center, fighting through the majority of the enemies to get more XP and treasure. I tried this at first, but with my reduced damage output, I found that going this way was way too slow, making it very difficult to reach the escape point by the time limit. So instead, my plan was to move everyone through the sides of the map to avoid combat as much as possible. This map features a wide variety of medicinal pots that can be broken to provide either buffs or debuffs to units within their range. Each of these pots has a predetermined effect, allowing you to plan their use in advance. I start the map by grouping everyone up and breaking a nearby pot to grant most of my units +4 defense, and then move everyone through the left side. Normally, people fight through the central area to obtain the Flame Shuriken, which is a magic throwing weapon and a one-of-a-kind weapon in this route. So to obtain it, I lure Saizo into attacking me across the wall, and once he's in position, I have a mega buff Mozu take him out, which secures the loot. I then move past the inner sanctum, which is full of apothecaries and pots, skipping that area entirely, and move into the upper left room. At this point, area-based reinforcements trigger, and a squad of apothecaries spawn from the bottom left and right. I move as quickly as I can to clear the rooms, leaving Effie behind to block the reinforcements at the door as I push towards Ryoma. With this, I managed to get the Armor Slayer, which will be extremely important for the next map, but unfortunately, as I approach the escape point, large numbers of enemies move in, blocking me from getting the other treasure chest. I have to handle this delicately because there's a nearby lunge apothecary that can move you way out of position. So first, to handle this, I have Mozu snipe a threatening spendthrift apothecary, and then use Perry as bait to lure out the lunge. Perry gets lunged over the wall, but fortunately, that small area is surrounded by pots and is surprisingly safe, despite the massive numbers of enemies nearby. I have Perry swap to Jacob, who is quite tanky. He is able to distract a couple of enemies, moving them out of the way. With this, I'm able to secure an escape route for Corrin to complete the map. But more importantly, I also secure a route to the treasure on the right. I make an effort to reach the other chest, which has 5,000 gold, but at the last moment, I mess up a couple of inputs and find myself unable to both break open the adjacent pots and open the chest. At this point, I was already a couple hours into playing this map and didn't want to reset, so I just gave up on the treasure and sent Corrin to the escape point to leave.